Hi, everybody. Welcome to Capital to the Coast BNI. My name is Mike Manning. Each week, we bring you a local small business success story from one of our BNI chapters from the Triangle to the Coast. There are 41 chapters that meet every week between the two regions. And each week, our goal is to bring a business to one of our fellow members, help them grow their business. If you are not familiar with BNI, it is Business Networking International, the world's largest networking organization. And our little slice of heaven here in the Triangle, again, 40 chapters going strong every week, looking to grow even more. And today we bring you one of our core groups, which is a group of people getting to 20 members so they can launch to become a BNI chapter. And this is in Wilmington. Our small business success story today is Savannah Booth with DesignLoud. Savannah is the creator of the Business by the Beach core group. They meet every Thursday mornings at 8:30 at Wrightsville Beach Brewery in Wilmington. Good morning, Savannah. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Mike. I'm good. How are you?
Good. Glad to have you on the show. So, as the creator of the group, what got you thinking I need to start my own chapter?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I believe in BNI. I'm a super big BNI fan. My boss has been in BNI for a really long time with Design Loud. And I was like, I really want to get plugged into a BNI chapter in Wilmington. I was super eager. I visited a lot of groups and I met a lot of people in the digital marketing seat
Yeah.
for those groups. And
Yep.
I was like, oh goodness, okay, so where can I fit in? Right. So I went on and I joined. I applied to a group. I found out that it was a launch group, and that was kind of what led me into my chapter, Business by the Beach.
And Design Loud has been around a while. I do like the name. What is the story behind that?
Yeah, so Design Loud, my our CEO founder, my boss, Derek Schmidt, he is comes from a music background. So I
Uh,
think whenever he created it, he wanted it to be, it started just as a graphic design agency. That was his passion, was web design, graphic design. And we've been around for 14 years. So if you can take a time machine back to 14 years to where Derek was in his life, I would say he would probably say that those two passions really
okay.
led to Design Loud. Mhm.
That makes a lot of sense. All right.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So you've been with Design Loud for about 3.5 years in a couple of different roles. Originally, I believe, former social media manager. Now you're an accounts manager, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
your goal is to grow your own book of business to help the chapter grow so everybody makes a lot of money.
Yes.
So now your previous job, which we'll get into in a little bit, was at Chick-fil-A in
Yes.
again a number of different roles, front-facing jobs with the community, hospitality, all of stuff like that. So we don't normally see people jumping from the fast food industry into the digital marketing world. So how'd you get there?
Yeah, definitely. So it was quite a journey that led me into my digital marketing experience. I really was super into event planning. That was something that I thought I was going to be that was going to be my career, and I was just doing it locally. And I went to my local Chick-fil-A all the time and started to really get to know them. And it just kind of one thing led to another. They wanted me to plan their events turned into marketing, and every Chick-fil-A has local level marketing. So they were looking for a marketing director. I didn't even know what that entailed, but it kind of led me into that. I'm so grateful for that opportunity because it brought me so much more opportunity and kind of led me into my career, getting more familiar with social media and all of the digital trends that was necessary in order to grow my local franchise. And so, yeah, that kind of led me into my experience with social media. And it kind of brought me here to work into the digital space.
So was the transition something you were looking for or just kind of happened one day?
Yeah, so I worked for Chick-fil-A for probably about 8 years. So I worked at the local level first, like I said, and then through that I got the experience to work at the corporate level. So I was a corporate employee by Chick-fil-A, and I worked on the new restaurant marketing team. So what that entailed was going to all these new markets and establishing their footprint essentially in the town or in the location that they were in. So I was doing that for a while. It was a very now that I look back at it, I can't believe that was really a time in my life. I was traveling 2 weeks out of every single month, so I was never home, and I was going to a new city and state every assignment, and I was super busy doing that. I really really loved it. I got to see so much of the country. I'm really super grateful for that. Gave me a lot of experience into like new markets and what kind of makes the demographics of a certain area, which was really awesome. And yeah, so COVID hit. I didn't have that job anymore because unfortunately it was kind of dissolved because a lot of my job was doing the events and stuff for the local market where I was at. It was dissolved, so I figured, what do I know? What can I do? And social media and digital space really took off for COVID. I guess that would be one of the silver linings that COVID brought us.
Now, at Chick-fil-A, when you would go to new markets, did you have to create and run the events, or did you just come in and manage them?
So we had a set amount of events that we did for every opening, and I would have a team with me, which was really great. And we would go and we would bring those activations to life for that week. So I wouldn't really create the events, but they were all unique to the different markets that I was in. I mean, I did some right in El Paso, Texas, right on the border. I did some in New York City. I did some in Burbank, California, by LA. And also small town Alabama as well. So we have to really kind of adjust our who our audience is and adapt in that way.
And then when you started with DesignLoud, did you know anybody at the company?
No, I didn't, and I love this story so much because I actually met. This is so insane. I met Derek, my boss, at a BNI mixer, and I didn't even know that it was a BNI mixer. So I was just really trying to get out there and network because, like I said, COVID happened and there wasn't any events. And then I was working at the local level back at Chick-fil-A just to kind of make ends meet. Whatever during that time, everyone was just trying to pay their bills, right? And so once things started to come back to life and events started happening again, I was like, I got to get out there. I got to network. I got to meet some people. I got to see what I'm doing next. And I found this event on Facebook. It was a BNI mixer, and I didn't know what BNI was at all. I just saw that it was a networking mixer, and I showed up at Wrightsville Beach Brewery
Mhm.
for my boss's future boss at that time's BNI mixer, and I just was next to him, and I've never met a stranger, so I went up to him and I said, "Hey, I'm Savannah. And what do you do?" And he was like, "What do you do?" And I was like, "Social media." He said, "My company is looking to start social media. That's so interesting. Let's talk." So I think that's so fun. I met him at a BNI event, so it's really the stars really aligned.
Now, how long did it take you to get on the payroll after you guys met that night?
Not long. We went through an interview process, I guess. It was so funny, and we kind of joke about it now. Is like, I guess I didn't really know that he was really
Mhm.
interviewing for that role. I thought we were just like two pals that were talking about digital marketing. And then I kind of found out, oh wow, other people might be interested in this. So he hired me and a couple of other social media managers to really be the founding social media team here at DesignLoud, which was really awesome. He hired us all intentionally, and one still works with me, and she's our project manager now. And her name is Elizabeth, and we work very closely together. So it's just really fun.
So now you're in the accounts manager role,
Yes,
which is translated is find new business, right?
yes, yes.
All right.
Find new business and care for our clients.
There you go. All right. So let's talk about finding new business. That's always the
Mhm.
hardest thing because it's, I found it, if you treat the people the right way, it's a whole lot easier to keep a client than go find a new one, right?
Yes.
So your original marching orders were to go after any types of business, any industries. How did all that get started?
Yeah, so I just looked at our existing book of business and said, okay, what are clients that we're really working great with right
Mm,
now? We kind of honed in on, we work really great with home services. Like we have a fencing company that we work with, and just we had a painting company. We work really great with those clients. So let's go find clients that offer services like that because we have great case studies. Healthcare as well, of course, with digital marketing, we run into those kind of like random snags of Google not allowing us to use certain keywords, but we've found great ways to pivot. So it's really awesome because I can look at what we're doing right now, what we're doing really well, and find a way to kind of replicate that with other local businesses and use those case studies for the sale.
And there are a number of different ways to find clients,
Mhm.
to reach out to them, and then finally connect with them. What have you found? Kind of tips will you give people on how you found what works best for you?
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm a huge relational person. I think the relationships are really kind of the foundation of basically everything that we do, right? And just hearing those people, I think I'm gonna use BNI terminology, I guess, to say hear what people are complaining about
Mhm.
and solve those issues. With digital marketing, it's so common that business owners will say, "Oh, I'm just frustrated because I'm not showing up on the first page of Google, or I'm not." Um, I'm doing all this work on my website and nobody's converting. My phone is not ringing. That's
Mhm.
something that's very, very common that business owners will complain about. And just, finding that out, building those relationships with our existing clients so that they feel like they can refer us. That's super big as well. And yeah, just making sure that we stay top of mind in any way possible. But also more of just like that partner, that marketing partner that you're looking to link arms with.
I have said for many years that there's two things that business owners should outsource quickly. One is their books, and the other is social media because
Yeah.
we're all gung ho for a week on social media. Oh, I can do this. It'll take, they fill in the blank 2 minutes, an hour, whatever they say,
Yeah.
right? And then their first three posts are easy. They get it. And then
Mhm.
week number two starts like, oh, what am I going to post now? And then
Yeah.
then it becomes one a week, and then it becomes nothing since December
Yeah.
17th, stuff like that. So there are things I know you guys do to make people's businesses better, but more people should be calling you. I'm just stunned they're not.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it's a full-time job. I say that we
Yes.
have two social media managers and an intern on staff right now. So it is somebody's full-time job. It's multiple people's full-time job. So definitely outsource what you can. I know as business owners, it's typical that people want to do it all because I'll just do it. This is my business. I'll just do it. But you have to also think about what's going to work best long term, right? Like what can I do? Um, how can I set myself up? I've had to learn this as well, just with leadership with BNI. My core group is let me focus on what I can do and outsource as much as I can to
Mm,
people that I know will do really awesome at it.
mm. Do you remember the first client you brought to Design Loud?
So we worked. My first client. Let me see. Uh, Probably a restaurant.
Okay.
We work locally with a restaurant, and they're really awesome. We still have a great relationship. They're downtown still. So I think that might have been it.
Was this a
Um,
cold call to them?
so actually, it's just relationship building. So it's who I knew. So that's a big thing of what I've had to do with my core group as well. Is like, okay, who do I already know,
Yeah.
right? Like who instead of going out there and say, "Hey, let me just go ahead and cold call, or let me
Yeah.
go ahead and warm," like, who do I know, right?
Yep.
That's always the first step, and that's kind of where that came from.
That's a wonderful point because cold calling's so bad. We don't know who needs us. We don't know if they're interested in talking to us or, oh, I don't have time for drop ins. Just tell them leave stuff at the front counter.
Yeah.
What have you found? What kind of networking events do you go to? How do you create those relationships that could lead to what you want is a real conversation?
Mhm. Yeah, I never go into any conversation with the mindset that I'm going to sell them on
Mm,
anything. I will always just first build a relationship and get to know who people are. I think that just transcends my role, that transcends my career, that transcends everything I got. I genuinely love to connect with
mm,
people. So I think that it just comes natural that the more I'm connected to people, I kind of want to look at myself, and I think Design Loud as a whole, we're so used to wanting to be the resource for people and the solution, but also not necessarily to get the sale, but to make sure that, oh my gosh, DesignLoud helped me so much whenever I was having this issue with XYZ. That's super helpful. I mean, I had a client come to me and they got banned on Google. Now working with Google is tough. It's tough. I will say that it's not for the weak of
Yes.
heart. And sometimes we don't always hit the nail on the head because we're just waiting for Google. But in this instance, we were able to get their Google profile back from suspension. Google just flagged it for a reason that we were it was not our fault, and we could, of course, it was in healthcare, so
Yeah.
so we were able to remedy that for them. And that's always really awesome. They're like, thank God for DesignLoud. Like, I'm so glad that DesignLoud was able to help me with this. And I just kind of do that with every interaction. Anytime at a networking event, I'm plugged into a lot of networking events here in Wilmington, and
Mhm.
that's just I'm looking for what other people need to be successful.
Yeah, and I think the story you tell on being blocked on Google, and we've heard stories about people being blocked on Facebook, and again, you
Yep.
have no idea why. And when Savannah says there's nobody to call people, she's right. There is nobody to call. So that's where you need an expert. But I ask business owners all the time, what's the value of doing business with you? And your story illustrates that. They
Mhm.
couldn't get people to their website
Mhm.
or order through Google, whatever they were using that for. Because can you build a website? Yeah. Can you do social media? Yeah. You know, a lot of people that can do that. Some are better than others, but
Mhm.
it's those things like that. So I'm sure the client was very happy to have met you guys on that day.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, and when that happens, then it's like, "Okay, I will tell my friends or tell my colleagues, tell other
Mhm.
people, 'Hey, DesignLoud is the one who helped us with that Google suspension,'" and it was not easy, but they made it happen, and I have faith that they could help you with your issues as well.
But as clients, that's what we're paying for. Whether it's a landscaper, a digital marketer, a chiropractor, whatever, we're paying for that value of, oh, they know how to solve that problem because it's a problem. We're hiring you because we have problems. So I
Yeah.
like that story. All right. So I'm going to make you the teacher here for this scenario. Okay.
Okay.
Now, you and I were stunned that people have trouble talking to people because we're like, okay, let me just walk over there. So, there's few of us that enjoy that and we're
Yeah.
decent at it some days, but we're not afraid of it.
Mhm.
So, somebody who's watching or listening today is terrified of going to a networking event. So, they don't know anybody.
Mhm.
So, give us a couple of tips on how they
Mhm.
can make it easier on themselves
Yeah.
to A, get in the door, and then B, try to find somebody to talk to, knowing full well they hate doing that.
Yeah. I always say find me in the room, right? Find your extroverted person that's gonna connect you. So I know it's pretty nerve-wracking to go into a sea of people and say, "Oh gosh, okay, I know, I wanna get myself out there, I just don't know how." Find an extrovert, find somebody that's rocking the room and be able to just kind of link arms with them and go for it in that way. Also, don't take anything too seriously.
Mm,
I think that's something that we always do, especially in the business world, is overthink everything and say, "Oh, if I say this wrong," or "Oh my gosh, I'm afraid this person is not going to take me seriously. I mean, I'm afraid that I'm going to say something wrong." It's
yeah.
not that serious. Just get out there, focus on the person, one person in front of you, introduce yourself. You have no idea the connections that you can make just from saying, "Hey, I'm Savannah, and I work for a digital marketing agency," just like I did whenever I was looking for a more stable job, is to say, "Hey, I do this.
Yeah.
You know anybody looking?" Because
Yeah.
even if Derek, my boss, wasn't looking for social media, he works in digital marketing, so he probably knew somebody that was interested in social media. So, yeah, just don't take it too seriously. Find an extrovert, find somebody willing to bring you around the room because there are those people. I know that I'm at those events, and I do, as much as I want to connect with everybody. I also look for those people that are kind of on the outsides of the room and
Mhm.
want to bring them in.
Yeah.
I know that public speaking, and especially with BNI, standing up and doing a public speaking, public speaking is kind of daunting for a lot of people. So I just want to make sure that everybody knows it's not that scary. And also, like, I see you, and come on, let's go meet some people.
So a couple things on that. Love the tip because normally we're more inclined to go find the person standing in the corner because we know they're terrified. but walk over them and acknowledge, "Hey, my name's Mike. Hey, ma'am. Hey, Mike, I'm Savannah." Like, "Savannah, I assume you share the comfort level I have at these," but just call it out right there, and then
Yeah,
both of you are like, "Yeah, I do too," and that's a
yeah,
connection. But find
yeah,
I like that, finding the extrovert and just walk up to them and say the same thing. "Hey, my name is
yeah,
Mike. Hey, Mike, I'm Savannah. Savannah, I see you talking to everybody. I'm terrified at these.
yeah,
I just want to come up and say hi," and just
yeah,
that lowers people's stress level,
most
and you're not
definitely.
expected to be perfect.
Yeah,
Yep.
most definitely. I work in the office with a lot of introverts and here at DesignLoud, and it's funny because we were having this conversation recently, and they were like, "Did you just like wake up one day and
Mm,
just start, being able to talk to like what is this?" And
yeah.
I think that I did kind of. My parents are both pretty extroverts,
Mm,
extroverted people, and my mom's a teacher, my dad is a musician, so we were definitely not afraid of crowds and talking to people. So I think I saw that and I learned it, but I also you do have to get out of your own way
yep.
sometimes. You do have to say, okay, like I said, it's not that serious, it's not that deep. Let me just focus on getting out there and talking to people and see what comes of it.
Yeah, I've got an older sister and a younger brother, and my younger brother just he says, because I've asked him to go to some networking events, because when he and
Yeah.
I had a couple of businesses together, I said, "Most everybody I know knows of you. Love to introduce you to them." He goes, "I have enough friends. I don't need any more." And my sister's kinda somewhere in the middle. She'll kinda go talk to people, but doesn't really
Yeah.
want to. So it's interesting from mom and dad, which of the kids got what gene.
So real, like what you pick up on and
Yeah.
what you feel like. I feel like I knew no fear. Like I
Yeah.
was on stage
Yeah.
and I was like doing dances and stuff. Like
Yeah.
I didn't I didn't know fear until of course that point in your life where I think everybody does. And then you're like, oh, everybody's
Yeah.
looking at me.
Yeah.
And then
And
it's just untraining that.
yeah. And so you walk up to somebody at a networking event
Mhm.
and, you talk for a quick second, they kinda blow you off. It's like back to what you said earlier, nothing
Yeah.
personal. It's like, "Okay,
Yeah.
they still wanna talk."
I didn't
But
want to talk. Yeah.
yeah. What about bringing a networking buddy with you? How's that work for you in the
Oh,
past?
perfect. Yeah, most definitely. I actually do that a lot. Like I said, I work with a lot of introverts, and so I want to kind of tell them it's not that scary. So any kind of networking event that I'll go to, I'll say, "Hey, want to come with me?" And sometimes they'll say, most of the time they'll be like, "No,
Yeah.
I'm busy. I've got something going on." But occasionally they'll say, "Yeah, sure." And looking at things from a different perspective of just like, "Hey, these are more people, more professional contacts for you to make."
Yeah.
You never know whenever you're going to need. I mean, that's why BNI is so fantastic. Like, you never know when you're going to need a painter or
Mm.
you're going to need a handyman or you're going to need a realtor or your HVAC breaks and you're going to need, you don't, if you don't know anybody, then what are you doing on Google? I know
Yeah.
somebody for
Yeah.
that. But
And you try to explain to the introverts
yeah,
that it's like, "Look, these people are there for the same reason you're going.
yeah,
They're trying to meet people
exactly.
too, and if there's 50 people in the room." And here's the other assumption we make early on going network events. I have time to meet all 50 of them? No.
Mhm.
You don't
No,
want to. That's not your goal. Your goal
yeah,
is to meet, connect with a couple, and then set a meeting to talk more. And
yeah.
if you go to an event and you walk away with 2 meetings set up, that's a good event.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, especially the open networking stuff. I always tell everybody, make sure you schedule that coffee chat
Yeah.
later, or give them a follow up and plan for a meeting outside of that first interaction because it's never really like it's quick when you're doing open networking. You're meeting a lot of people. It's not as warm and intentional,
Mm.
right, as sometimes that you'd want it to be. And it also makes you more comfortable with people that you meet out there.
Yep. The last networking event you went to last week was which one?
I am an ambassador with Port City Young Professionals
Okay.
here in Wilmington, and we had a meeting of an event last week at Poor Tap Room.
All right. So when was the last networking event you went to that you were not affiliated with that organization?
Mm. So I recently have started getting more involved with the chamber here.
Okay.
My boss, Derek, he has played a good role with them for a while, but then kind of took a step back. And I'm kind of coming in. We have a new sales physician here at DesignLoud and kind of helping him be more comfortable. Not, we're members there, but they don't know me. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like I came in and they were like, "Hey," I was introducing myself to
Mhm.
everybody and meeting everybody for the first time there.
So that meeting you went to, your goal was what?
My goal was to, make sure that people knew about Design Loud, but also just to meet people,
Mhm.
just to meet more connections. The same kind of, I guess, would be anywhere, but also in a room full of people that I didn't know.
And what made that so you left there processing things, probably got back to the office, a couple of business cards, process more. So what made that, to pass along an example, what
Mhm.
made that a successful event for you?
Mm.
What happened?
Yeah, so I was able to find, so there were a couple of other people that did. This is interesting to me because I really, really like to connect with other people that do marketing in the area. I think that that's something that is helpful for me to understand and refine our processes, and also just see what works for other agencies, and also to find good referral partners, right?
Mhm.
So there are things that other agencies in Wilmington do that we don't do, and then vice versa. Wilmington has a lot of agencies. Like I said, I was going to those BNI groups and
Yeah.
everybody was filled in the digital marketing seats, but everybody does things differently. So going to that group, it was awesome because I got to connect with some people that were in digital marketing in Wilmington and get plugged in a little bit more with them, and just set up some coffee chats with them to just talk about any struggles or any successes or anything that they have experienced recently, so that we could kind of build that community.
Now you don't have, and folks, if you're not familiar with BNI, we call them seats. So Savannah has the digital marketing seat. You don't have one of those industries where people go like, what kind of reactions do you get when people find out you're a digital marketer, knowing full well most people have no idea what that is and they
Yeah,
can't do it?
yeah, it is interesting. Oh, first of all, it's like the internet is scary, and we know
Yes. Yes.
everything is tracked. And we know we do that. And yeah, I think that people are like, digital marketing, what do you mean? Like,
Yeah.
obviously, we see marketing, we see billboards, we see, we're watching the news and we see commercials of things. But digital marketing, can you tell me a little bit more about that? Yes, absolutely. We're on your social media, we're doing the targeted ads, and like I said, the internet is scary, but it's also a great place to connect with people.
And I think you have one of those seats where people, they hear digital marketer and they automatically know, "Oh, I can't afford you." And yet you've
Yeah,
had no conversations about what they're looking to get done, right?
yeah, most definitely. Yeah, definitely, because with digital marketing, we have the retainer fee that you'll pay
Mhm.
for the service, and then also the ad budget. And I think that's really daunting for people, but to know that you can change the ad budget at any
Yeah.
point, we make adjustments to that. And also just to see us as their partner, and not just someone like, give me your money,
Yeah.
like, let's do, we're not Google, right? Like, we don't just want your money. We want to make it work for you.
Yeah, and one of the things, again, like I said earlier, people should outsource any kind of marketing, especially social media,
Mhm.
because they don't do it well. Because most of us don't know how to do it, so we don't do it well. And then business owners forget, hey, my hourly rate's $300 because every time I find a client, it's worth $300, whatever the number is that they come up with, and here they are spending their 1 hour trying to put a post together, and they've never heard of Canva, so they don't know how to design anything, right? It's horrible. So I'm sure you get some good stories like, "I'm so glad I found you because best I can draw is stick figures."
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, we'll have clients. It's so funny. They'll come to us and say, "This is my vision. This is what I want. Can you just make
Yeah,
it into something?" And we're like, "Absolutely, yes." And so we'll do it, and they'll send it back, and they'll be like, "I didn't even.
yeah,
This is amazing." Like
yeah,
they're super grateful for it. That's it's always really awesome to do that, to just be able to take their brain dump and make
yeah.
it something into something tangible that they can actually see.
Or they'll have 2 favorite colors that just don't go together, and every post they've created had those colors on.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Or like brand fonts and things
Yeah,
like that. They're things that we think about whenever we create all of our
yeah.
content. Um, but yeah.
Again, it's as somebody who can't match colors anyways, I'll try to create stuff. I'm okay on Canva. I'm about a 3.5 out of 10 on
Yeah.
Canva. So I know what
Totally.
I'm supposed to be doing. I don't
Yeah.
always do it well. So I'll show it to my wife and like, "What colors are these?" I
Yeah,
think
what is
this is what
this?
I see. Does that work? And when she
Yeah.
gets done laughing sometimes, I'm like, "I should change those, shouldn't I?"
Yeah, you just don't know. Sometimes you need another
Nah.
perspective, and it's like, you need another perspective, or do you need an industry perspective,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it
Which
my
would be
one of my favorites is the, car door magnet. So
oh,
somebody, who has some sort of design skills gets it on their computer, and it's got cursive and, um, South Padre Island and Key West colors schemes that
mhm,
don't go anywhere, and
yeah.
then you pull up next to it, and you gotta roll down your window and do this just
Look
to read it because you can't read it, but wow, it looks great on the computer, doesn't it, honey? Oh
exactly.
my
Yeah,
gosh.
you have to think about it in a perspective. Is this
Yeah.
going on a billboard? Is this going on a social media post? That's another thing that we think, like, when we're creating content, like, you can't put too many words on the actual graphic. Like, you gotta point them to the caption. You gotta point them somewhere where you can put more information, because humans, like, we want to see something eye-catching. We don't want to see something like, if
Yep.
we look at something and say, "Oh, there's too many words on that. I'm not going to read it."
The example is a billboard. You've
Mhm.
got 12 seconds, 10 seconds to not only read it, but remember it.
Mhm.
And if you've got so many words on there,
Yeah.
because the goal is for them to call your phone number.
Yeah.
Forget the 18 words to describe the 18 services you do. You're a landscaping company,
Right.
you're a painter, you're whatever. Just put your number up there in big black block letters that I can read. Just drives me nuts. Oh,
I know. I
yeah,
totally understand where
yeah.
you're coming from.
Just
Yeah,
drives me nuts.
absolutely.
All right, so one of my, favorite parts of the show here is when I have a married guest on. So your
Oh,
your wife's name is Sarah. I
yes.
always ask, "How did you 2 meet, and do you both tell the story the same way?"
Yeah, we actually, it's interesting because I feel like we've met 2 different times, so I guess either one, I'll take it. We there was whenever we first met, and then, of course, whenever we met and we were like, "Okay, this is, sparks are flying."
Mhm.
We actually met, we have a mutual friend, and, we were just in the same space, at the same time a lot, and, she was somebody that we connected with, or I connected with, and we had stayed in touch. I moved to Seattle, or right outside of Seattle, and then ended up coming back, to Wilmington, and it just made sense that, we saw each other again, and things became more serious. So that's I think that she would tell the story the same way, but I don't know. I'll have to
Well,
ask her.
alright, next time I come to Wilmington, I'm gonna ask her, okay?
Yeah, you gotta ask
So
her. Yeah.
where was the official first date?
First date. So, we have this place called Smoke on the Water here in Wilmington,
Ooh, I like it already.
and it's so beautiful. It's like this. It's a restaurant, but they also, it's like a kind of a park, and then also a dock, where it used to be it used to be a little like a hidden gem, but now I think it's pretty popular for sunsets. But you can kind of go out on the patio and watch the sunset on the dock, or just kind of go to the little park. And so we did meet there, and that was really nice.
Okay, and then you kinda knew something was going on, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it's interesting because I think, when people talk about, meeting their person, it was instant. It was definitely, I met her and I knew that this is somebody that I'm gonna spend my life with. This is somebody that, I need, I wanna be around all the time. But not just that, but I also feel like I can grow with them. That's so huge. Looking for somebody that you can spend every aspect of your life with and share that with, that was something that I felt immediately.
And I agree with you. Well,
You
when I saw my wife, it's like, okay, I'm done.
That's it. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
so and then
Of course, yeah, there's that attraction, but there's also that, safety and feeling
mhm,
of just security
yep,
and just pure happiness that you
yep.
can't replicate.
And Sarah's a photographer. Now, when you 2
Yeah.
are just out and about for no reason whatsoever, is she always a photographer, or does she hate being in pictures because she's a photographer?
So she loves to be behind the lens, not in front of the lens, that's for sure. But she does kind of entertain me, with photos. But her attention to detail is
Mm,
just on point all the time. So I think that that's something that she does carry. inside and outside of her work, will be places and or we'll watch movies and she'll be like, I don't know why they did the shot like this or why did they? And I'm like, you can't just, you can't just like be chill about it. Like she's gotta notice those little details, which is great because I'm somebody that sometimes I just skip right over those
And
details.
you've been in what, 1.5 million pictures since you 2
Yeah,
met probably?
at first
Yeah,
it was, I don't mind being in front of the camera if that's what needs to happen. So I was definitely
yeah.
the model, so to speak, for a while, but, it's fun.
Alright, so let's go back to your first week at DesignLoud. So
Yes.
you kinda know what you're doing with social media, the accounts management stuff is new, but you're a people person, so not a problem with that. So what was that first week like with regard to networking events, cold calling? Kinda what's that schedule like when you're first starting to grow a book of business?
Yeah, definitely. So I came in to Design Loud in the social media space, not having a social media space before. So at the company, so we really built that, and luckily, like I said, I had two really great colleagues that helped in that area. We were like focused a lot on the Design Loud brand and what we wanted to do social media wise. Obviously, the first thing that you look up from an agency that you want to run your social media is their social
Mhm.
media. So we spent a lot of time on that and just making sure that, we had our color palettes right, our fonts right, our following, like what, our first impression and our bio and our logo. We focused a lot on that. If you were to go back to this beginning post, of course, that was in 2021. I don't know if that would be still on brand for what we do now, but that was super important just to refine that and lay out the foundation of that. And then 3 months later, whenever I took on the account management role, I just knew that nobody was talking to our clients and nobody was connecting, and there wasn't anybody out there prospecting other than Derek, our boss. And so that was super important to really just learn the systems and processes that we had in place, but also see the bottlenecks where we can improve.
Client retention, a whole lot easier to keep one than to go find a new one.
Yes.
What things do you do to
Mhm.
just stay top of mind with them?
Yeah, I have monthly meetings with my clients, so that's super important just to keep a pulse on them to make sure that everything is good. And even the clients that I don't do monthly meetings with, I still try to connect in some way, shape, or form. I don't ever want to be able to have clients that I don't connect with, because for me, that's an immediate red flag. Is if the client's not responsive or just wants to be completely hands off, like that's a red flag in my mind to say, okay, you know there's an opportunity that they might not see value, or they might just look at us as a vendor. Design Loud we do a really good job, I feel like, of not just being a vendor that you can take on and then drop. We're somebody that's looking to grow your business with you and celebrate those wins with you. So just being really aware of their account and also aware of the clients. There's so many of my clients that I know their families, and I know what their interests are and their hobbies, and I love that so much, and that just makes me more so, hey, how is your daughter doing, or you said that you were going to your son's basketball game, and did he win, things like that. I think building that relationship is so important because then they can fall back and say they trust you more. They don't want to leave because they know that you really understand them and care about their business as well.
And that's one of the things I think small business owners forget is you don't want to give your clients a chance to think about doing business with someone else. So
Yeah.
if you onboard me today and we set a plan of whatever it is, and I don't hear from you again till September,
Mm.
or I have to always call you for a question or, hey, our website this or social media, I noticed that, whatever it is, and you just don't give your people a chance to look anywhere else, even if you're just driving down the road. Oh, there's Savannah's office. Let me pop in real quick.
Yeah.
Because even if she's not there, I'm going to make sure somebody in your office knows, hey, just tell her Mike stopped by. I was just in the area, want to see how things were going. And I'm glad you do that because a lot of business owners don't keep that connection and stay top of mind.
Yeah, staying top of mind is just it's so important, and it's also just knowing that, hey, I'm just checking in on you, making sure everything is
Mhm.
good. I knew that that was something that we were not doing before the account management role was filled. And I was like, how do we even have a book of clients? Like, I mean, obviously that was something that, would happen when it could happen, but that's a priority. And that's something that we do really well here. I really, really try to deeply check in on my clients and know their business and help them succeed in that way.
And business development, folks, is also client retention. It's the same thing. You want to keep them. So let's go back to websites. Here's one of my pet peeves. Tell me how right I am, because I know I'm
Okay.
right. Uh, People don't realize that you're going to get somebody's going to check in on you. I meet you at an event. Probably the first place I'm going is your website. I want to
Mhm.
learn a little bit more, and there should. I think I can say there better be one. There better be
Yeah.
something, even if it's a one-page landing page.
Yeah.
Here's my big pet peeve: is under the About Us section, they never mention anybody in the company. So
Terrible.
if I'm shopping locally, I want to see a picture. And you guys have a dog, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if I met Sarah and I want to learn more about photographer, I want to go to her site. I want to see a picture of her and you and the dog. I want to hear
Yeah.
how local you are. I want to hear how long you've been doing this. I want to hear some good story of something. But to
Mhm.
have corporate speak on a website, I don't learn a lot because I don't know if it's true.
Mhm. Yeah, completely. And yes, absolutely accurate on that. I can tell a story about this. Recently, we had Keith, our operations manager, he was talking about meeting somebody out and about that did digital marketing as well. And again, me interested in building that community. I was like, oh my gosh, let me check out their website. And I went to their website and it was all stock photos. There was It was all just kind of jargon. It wasn't really like, and potentially they were just starting out, and that's totally fine. But also, there has to be some kind of relationship building there
Yep.
in order to go. Okay, this is somebody that I could see myself working with. This is your team.
Yep.
This is the team that I know I can visually see. And my welcome to we call it welcome to the fan club. That's our like onboarding
Mhm.
email. It shows a picture of us, and I wish I had it right now to share it, but it's a picture of all of our team, and I have handwritten in there everybody's name with arrows pointing to them because that's the team that's working on your account.
Yep.
They're people. It's not just this faceless Google
Yeah.
person that's working on your account. They're all in our office and they're all working really hard on your account.
Yeah, and that's interesting point. I'm glad you guys do that because I have the conversation with home services people, whether painters, restoration people, and do you sub everything out or do you have W-2 employees? And whatever answer works for you is the right answer. But I think a lot of people enjoy seeing that team photo of, oh, okay, so these are everybody I talk to works for them.
Yeah.
And versus again, if you outsource it to somebody in Europe, again, if that's your business model, that's fine. A lot of people have no problem with that. But I think more people than not, when they go to your website, they want to see something personal on there.
Yeah. Most definitely. And also, I do get a lot of people. That's like my probably most asked question recently is your team remote? Do you work in the
Hmm.
office? Is your
Yep.
team all in Wilmington? Where is your team? Uh, and it's awesome because we can say that the majority of our team is here and does work in office. We have some that are remote, just because they have moved and
Yeah.
once worked in the office and they've moved and we still really want to work with them. Um, and of course, we do have contractors that we use for certain things, of course, but I think it's super important that the majority of our team is here and available. I also think it's easier because I can just turn around and say, hey, this client really wants this, and I just want to make sure that you understand it.
Yeah. And if Susie's 5th anniversary is tomorrow, March 25th, I want to see a picture of her on your Facebook business page or you somewhere says, "Hey, we want to congratulate Susie. This is her, 5th anniversary. She was the 4th employee ever at company ABC."
Yeah.
I think those things matter. I really do.
Yeah, just like Rachel, she's our social media manager, and she also does our social media ads. It's her, I think, third year anniversary with us, and
Wow.
today, so we're all like passing around a card, and we have posted about it, and you'll probably see it on our social media. So that's really awesome.
All right, so give us a good networking tip for the day. Somebody watching, they got a business, they know they have to. So give us, how about a tip on how to find a correct event to go to, correct
Mhm.
networking type event? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, definitely. First of all, what are you looking to get out of it, right? Are you looking for professional connections? Are you looking for new sales? Are you looking for a new employee? All of the above, right? So really think about that, and go into search from there. For example, like I said, home services is a great um, business that we want to work with. So we're going to look for home service based marketing events if we're looking for clients. If I'm looking for other people in other marketing agencies in local that I want to connect with and build that community with, then I'll look for those specific events. Just be very specific with what you're looking for and be intentional whenever you're there.
Well, and I like your thought process because for clients, we generally have to go find them. We can post stuff and we can send them an email but eventually we're going to have to meet them. So I like that you're going to find realtor events or
Mhm.
whatever. It's like, let's go do that. And so I like the tip on that. All right.
Thank you.
So folks, we've been putting Savannah's phone number up on the screen here. If you are anywhere, I can say
Mhm.
that. And I think because of COVID, we are more comfortable with people working remotely
Mhm.
because probably a third of the people looking to find something are working remotely themselves as well. So
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, and some
Yeah.
things it can be done in Detroit. I don't need
Yeah.
it in Wilmington, but the landscaper can't live in Detroit, so I know that. So,
Yeah,
uh,
most definitely. We the good thing and the beautiful thing about digital marketing is we can do it anywhere,
yeah,
right? So we can help businesses that are in Atlanta. We can help businesses that are all the way in California on the other side of or other side of the country. That's the beautiful thing about digital marketing. So definitely we love working with clients in Raleigh. We love working with clients in Charlotte. Also love working with clients here in Wilmington that we can just pop in and see. So that is the beautiful thing of being able to be remote is you
yep.
can do it anywhere.
So take some of the pressure off yourself and get outsource your social media marketing and get to the other stuff later. They can do that too. But let's just start with the social media marketing. In
Yes.
certain industries, you have to have a Facebook presence. In certain
Mhm,
industries, you need a LinkedIn presence. So
mhm.
figure out, call Savannah, say, hey, here's what I'm doing. Here's what I'm looking to do. And she's going to chat with you for a little bit. No charge. I'm going to spend some of her money, Derek's money and time. But
Yeah.
that's how that worked. And just tell her what you're looking to do. And she'll
Mhm.
tell you what the best plan is, some examples they can give. But social media, talk to a professional because most of us, we mess it up because we're not consistent and we're really good for 2 or 3 weeks, and then nobody's heard from us since November. Oh, I wonder if they went out of business. So call
Mhm.
professionals like Savannah to do that. So Savannah, glad you're on the show today. Folks, if you are in the Wilmington area, Tuesday mornings, 8:30 at the Wrightsville Beach Brewery. It's a core group. I think you guys are at 12, 13.
I think 12
Yeah.
members,
Okay.
yeah.
So they need to get to 20. So we need 8 people there by 5 o'clock, by 8:30 tomorrow morning. Let's close this out and get you guys lunch. So
8 more people, that's all I need.
yep, yep, yep. So what's the website for Design Loud?
Or designloud.com.
There you go. I like that. So go check that out, folks, but give Savannah a call as well. Savannah, thanks for being on the show today. Good luck tomorrow and good luck with your core group.
Thank
And
you,
we will
Mike.
see everybody next time on Capital to the Coast BNI.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by StreamingGear.com and DeltaForce.net.